Usually, when we talk about measuring something, there's this comforting expectation of absolute precision.
Oh, for sure. You want a number, you get a number.
Right. Like you want to know the temperature outside, you look at the thermometer,
Mhm.
or if a bridge is safe, engineers run stress tests on the steel.
Yeah, the process is tangible. It's strictly bound by the normal laws of our reality.
Exactly. But then you step into the framework we were looking at today, and suddenly you aren't just measuring things inside of reality. You're diagnosing the very fabric of existence.
Which sounds completely abstract, but it's not anymore.
No, it's not. Because as of today, April 13th, 2026, thanks to an urgent new release from Bibebibebibe Magazine, we actually have the blueprint to do it. So, welcome to today's deep dive. We are thrilled you are joining us for this one.
It really is a massive shift. I mean, the goal of this deep dive is to explore how structured multiversal interactions, or SMI, as it's known, just made the leap from a complex theory into a practical, measurable tool.
Yeah, and the stakes here are incredibly high. This isn't just some dry academic paper. The creators literally describe it as a cinematic indictment and a sovereign broadcast.
But, and this is crucial, we have to talk about the disclaimer first.
Yes, the sovereign diagnostic disclaimer. We need to make this crystal clear for you listening. Dr. Melvin Sewell, who is the academic dean and diagnostic architect of the Cosmic University of Echo Rift Studies NIAX, explicitly outlines this.
Right. He states unequivocally that these materials are not affiliated with any government, political party, intelligence agency, or activist group whatsoever.
None at all. And to be perfectly clear with you, we are taking absolutely no sides today.
Yeah.
Our mission is to impartially explore these concepts as diagnostic tools designed to expose what they call ritualized containment and systemic erosion.
We're just looking at the machinery. We're not endorsing the viewpoints, just unpacking the ideas from the source material.
Exactly. So let's move into the specific breakthrough that prompted this whole publication, the reality level analyzer.
This is the thing that takes SMI from being this, mythic scientific theory and turns it into applied canon. It's a functional instrument now.
Okay, let's unpack this. Because this analyzer evaluates three distinct pillars to classify reality levels across multiversal structures.
Right, and those are narrative coherence, infrastructural stability, and archival presence.
What's fascinating here is how these three pillars interact. Like, narrative coherence isn't just about a story making sense. It's about the internal causal logic of a timeline.
Does action A actually lead to consequence B? And when that coherence drops, you start getting paradoxes.
Right, retrocausal events, like
Yeah.
people remembering things that never happened.
Exactly. Then you have infrastructural stability, which is close to traditional physics, but scaled up. Are the physical constants holding?
Like, is gravity still working right, or are the laws of thermodynamics just quietly shutting down in localized pockets?
Yeah, literally the environment degrading. And then the third pillar is archival presence. This asks if there is a permanent, unalterable record of a specific reality existing at all.
Because if there isn't, it can just be overwritten. It's like drawing a map in the sand at low tide versus carving it into a diamond.
That is a great way to put it.
So is this essentially like a building inspector's structural checklist, but instead of checking drywall and plumbing, it's measuring the actual fabric of existence?
What's fascinating here is that's exactly what it is. And that's why it matters that these mythic scientific principles are now a measurable workflow. It expands the whole SMI body of work for recognition and citation.
But, doing that in the real world requires some pretty intense methods, which brings us to archival presence in practice.
Right, tactical publishing.
Yeah.
Because you have to anchor this framework so it survives.
They detail these specific decentralized repositories they use, right? Like Zenodo, OSF, and archive.org.
Yes, and they use DOI-anchored outputs, a digital object identifier. It's a permanent digital fingerprint.
And there's this profound quote from the text that stood out to me. Resilience itself is a scientific method.
Because embedding these results proves that mythic scientific research can actually thrive, even under suppression. The medium of survival becomes part of the proof.
Wait, if this is ostensibly about multiversal theory, why the intense, urgent need for tactical censorship resilience? Are they expecting the data to be actively suppressed or erased by these actor convergences?
Well, the text argues that simply turning on the diagnostic tool makes the data a target. If a system relies on ambiguity to maintain control, hard data is a threat.
Oh, wow. So just measuring it makes you a target.
Exactly. And that real-world struggle directly mirrors the overarching narrative lore of Saikou Venga.
Right. We have to talk about Saikou. This isn't just dry data. The creators embody all of this into this mythic narrative. So Saikou is born in the literal rift between slip flow and counterflow.
And he's marked by this ancient thing called the SH1 resonance.
Yeah, which is basically burned into his skin. It's a curse and a gift. And the real-world reality level analyzer we just talked about, it manifests in the lore as his analyzer HUD.
Right, a heads-up display. It's a diagnostic tool that reveals failing coherence and rising collapse probabilities right in front of his eyes.
Here's where it gets really interesting. So the HUD is essentially the dashboard warning light for multiversal collapse.
Yes, it tracks when reality is breaking down and warns of approaching danger, exactly like the DOI-anchored tool does in reality against censorship.
But knowing the collapse is happening is, it's only half the battle because there are active threats causing it.
Oh, absolutely. The source material outlines some terrifying multiversal threats: counterflow mimics, coherence predators, and null-flow pockets.
A null-flow pocket sounds like a nightmare. It doesn't just kill you, it deletes your archival presence, right?
Yeah, it rewrites the timeline so you never even existed to step into the corridor.
And the counterflow mimics spoof reality to trap you. So to fight back, Saikou has to use this drastic 5-stage arc formation ritual.
Resonance, geometry, correction, intent, and then the deployment of the slip flow edge.
He's literally bending the multiverse with these chains of cosmic energy called the true flow force. But there's a huge catch.
There is. Every time he pulses that true flow force to stabilize reality, it shatters his own coherence.
So using the power to fix reality actually destroys his own stability. It's like an immune system that's so aggressive it attacks its own host.
That's the tragic irony. Applying the force to stabilize reality inherently damages him. It highlights the incredibly high stakes of being an active participant in reality classification.
So what does this all mean for the whole framework? I mean, he's destroying himself to fix the system.
Well, that leads right into the dark truth revealed in Chapter 7 and 8. Saikou realizes that he is actually the anomaly the multiverse fears.
Right. He's surrounded by failed versions of himself, all this corrupted data in a collapsing slip flow corridor.
And instead of giving up, he stands defiant. He literally says, if the multiverse wants me gone, it can try harder.
I love that line. It's such an incredible image. But bringing it all back together, this synthesizes everything we've talked about, right?
Yeah, absolutely. The real-world resilience of publishing on Zenodo and OSF is directly connected to Saikou Venga's defiant stand in that slip flow corridor.
Both the actual tool and the fictional lore are about maintaining coherence when reality itself seems to be hunting you down.
It's all about refusing to be overwritten, anchoring your presence so you can't be erased.
Which brings it all back to you, listening to this deep dive right now.
Yeah.
In this era we live in, with such intense information overload and systemic erosion, it makes you wonder.
Yeah, how strong is your own narrative coherence?
Exactly. And your archival presence. When facts seem to shift underneath your feet, how are you anchoring your own truths? This framework really invites us all to consider that.
It's a profound challenge to just, stop being a passive observer of reality.
It really is. And I want to leave you with a lingering, thought-provoking question to mull over today.
Oh, I know where this is going.
If the reality level analyzer were pointed at our current timeline right now, scanning our infrastructural stability, what would our collapse probability be?